Morning,
Ooh,
cuz.
how you doing? All right, all right.
Good.
Oh, all right.
All right.
Been a minute, man.
Mm-hmm. I'm trying to set this up so I don't have to be holding my phone because I don't have a tripod on it. So,
How you
all
doing?
right. Good, cuz. Oh, this ain't gonna work. This ain't gonna work.
All right, you
All right, we
good?
go.
How
Doing
I
good.
sound? Okay, that's what's
Great.
up.
Clear.
All right, so how you doing? Can you say your name for the viewers? What's your name?
This is Tosha X.
Tosha X.
Um, Tasha, but now it's Tosha X. Um, in the Nation of Islam. So, we dropped that slave name and use a different name,
I
Tasha
want to
X.
learn a little more about that in our own time. Right.
Get into it.
So check it out. Where you from? Like, for people all over the world, explain where you from.
Born and raised. Um, the only place I've lived, from Praggers Village.
Right? You have siblings.
I have two siblings. Um, five. I had five kids. One passed away at the age of 22 years old. He does have three sons. So a grandma and one on the way. Actually, one on the way
Oh,
from my daughter.
wow. Okay. Okay, Glamour. So were you the youngest of three sisters, and what was it like growing up in Progress Village? What was the lifestyle?
For me, I kind of basically stayed to myself. So, but everybody out there like family. So everybody know everybody out there. So basically, we're just growing up around family. To be honest, it's all we knew. So everything was, even when I moved outside for a couple of years and come back, ain't nothing feel like home. But to
Okay.
be honest,
High school, what was that like?
high school. We really gonna go there today? High school was a different Tasha. I was a different Tasha back then. Yeah, I'm gonna say that. When you living in a different environment, sometimes survival is what was the case back then. So sometimes, or some people wasn't able to be focused on education properly like they should have. So I would say back then, in high school, when I first got to high school, it was we were staying across Fletcher, what they call Suitcase City. So when you when you when it's a lot of females, sometimes it can be some issues. So not necessarily with me, but who you gonna feel? I mean, you gonna ride it out with your family. I'm gonna say that. So it was different, more like survival mode than what I'm in on today. Education is more important, but back then, different
Right.
mindset, different me.
And I was talking to somebody yesterday about moving around, being that new student. Can like people don't understand how that feel when you that new student.
I'm a very, very shy person. This is not me to even be on here talking. You know that. So I really don't like speaking. I really don't even. I love people, but I'm not a talkative person. So just imagine going around new people and having to be that person everywhere you went. It was always out of place. Trying to um, force myself to be something I'm not because I really like an introverted person. Period. So it was difficult every time I had to go somewhere new. One year I went to three schools in one year, so that
We
was that
did
was very
that too.
difficult. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, we did that too. And it
Hated it.
sucked and it made us our characters. It all makes the person that you are today. Every experience you've been through kind of makes who you are. But you could, you know, at our age, we have to level up. Mhm.
Right. It's difficult growing into it, like going through it and growing into those things. But when you look back at every experience and look at how you was once that after that experience, it was all growth and just different new experiences and learning different ways to how can I say just deal with different situations and environments. It was just all growing, and it took me 20 some years old. I mean, I went through different experiences my basically whole childhood. So it was always something different besides Progress Village. I'm gonna say that, and everybody who went to school in Progress Village, but every other environment was always different for me. Different because to be honest, depending on where you from, a lot of people, a lot of areas act different. I'm gonna be honest, and we all from Tampa, but everybody's just different. You know what I'm saying? Kind of quiet, and you might go to a place where everybody wilding out and different. I always felt weak. I don't care what it was because I wasn't. I was just me, just very quiet and just
Right.
yeah, different.
And
But unique today.
right.
I look at it.
So
Yeah.
can you talk about motherhood or teenage motherhood? Because my daughters are gonna see this. Young girls are gonna see this. Was it rough for you? Did you have
Um,
but you had backup that helped you? What was it like motherhood that first time?
I was pregnant at 14. I had my first son, Jaleel, at 15 years old. I don't know if a lot of people know that. Um, I was blessed because from my mother and a lot of family around me. I can't say that it was easy, but had I not had them, I don't know how I would have survived. I'm gonna say that. So I know a lot of people that did experience some tough times. However, I was blessed because I had a lot of support. Had a lot of support. I actually had two kids as a teen because I had my second child at 17, and his father was most definitely involved 100%. So I look back now and I know that I had kids very, very young. Would I do it again? No, but I was blessed at the time because a lot of people didn't have the luxury of having that support like I did. But changing all over again, I tell a lot of people be mindful. It doesn't seem like, oh, you did it. When I tell my kids, don't do as I did because mentally, had my mind been where it's at today, of course you wouldn't choose to have a child at that age because you can't teach them the things that you can today. So that is one thing that I would recommend to any teenager when, not going to bash them. We're not going to bash nobody because things happen. But at the same time, be very mindful because you have to be in a better mental state when you're having these children because raising them, you can't give them the essential tools that they need for their mind when your mind ain't there. So it was like growing my son, like I'm not your sister. You might, so you have to. That's what I would, if I could change that again, is having my mindset. Your mindset need to be prepared when
Right.
you're having children. You know, if your mindset there, you can financially be together. You ain't got none of that,
Right.
then who raising
Right.
who?
All right. So, life goes on. You have your kids. Relationship. I ain't the best with relationships. You have any advice on how to keep a strong relationship nowadays?
Um, I'm gonna say this: we was not raised for courtship. We was not raised to courtship. So, me personally, my oldest son, once I got pregnant with him, of course I wasn't with his father, you know. So he was kind of absent parent. So, basically after my oldest son father, I ended up being with my second son's father sometime later. Another way I was blessed because he actually helped raise my oldest son, and I was for 13 years. So it was almost as if when you have with morally, when you're raising children, you want a two-parent home. So it's like, we're gonna make this work. I don't care how we get along. We finna have it, take care of these children. But at the same time, you really can't say you really know somebody. I would say that you really know somebody, because sometimes you outgrow a person. So we end up growing apart later because you really don't know any. You don't have the tools. You don't have the. I didn't have the guidance of how a relationship should work. We just gonna make it work. I may not like you. You may not like me. I'm gonna be honest, and we just made it work financially. So I really didn't. I really didn't have a lot of relationship experience until after we
Oh,
separated, and then going, what should I have done as a better, we got married, everything. What should I do? What should I have done as a better wife today? What should I have done as a better girlfriend today? And I would say this is, don't jump into relationships. I feel like you have to force something that's not there. I feel like you really, really get to know a person before you start to uh, build a family. Because now, after the separation and things like that, the kids will look back now and they see dysfunction. Especially if you're going to build a family with them, because now they look, I'm over here, daddy over here, may not be getting along, may be getting along. You know what I'm saying? Good thing that me and their father do have a relationship where we're able to, co-parent good. But your whole life, you know what I'm saying, you end up being with somebody who, you really didn't connect with. You got a whole family. I got 4 kids from him that you really don't know. So I'm going back to say, make sure you get to know a person. Make sure courtship needs to come back into place when we raising our kids. Because like right now, my daughter's, she has a child away. Not business out, but it's not like, now it's like, okay, I got to know you the rest of my life. I got to be with you till this child turn 18. And I don't even really, I don't know who you is. You know what I mean? So it's so important that we know who we dealing with. You know what I mean? And go from there.
right. And I'm not the best with relationships because it's hard to say that one woman can do everything for you, but I don't know, man. I can't figure that relationship thing.
When a person, when it goes back to morality, I feel like we wasn't taught to learn ourselves first. Learn who you are first, and when you're courting, you can, if you know who you are, you really know who you're looking for. So basically trying to see that person that you're looking for, if they have those qualities in them that will connect with you. So I feel like I really believe in like vibrations and all that type of stuff like that. So it's just, do I vibe with this person? Just what, find out what they want in the future, find out what they looking for, find out, just getting to know each other. I feel like that. And when you know yourself, I feel like you know what you're looking for. If this will work, is that, that, you know what I'm saying? So I think getting to know who you are.
And I'm not gonna hold you too much longer, but uh, you've been through some tragic things. How do you how do you seem to make it through day by day? Because somebody out there has gone through what
Okay.
you've gone through. Somebody out there have a story. It's not easy, but how do you get through sanity wise? How do you get through a day?
I'll tell you, I have always experienced a lot of things in life. Okay. I have had a lot of hardships in life. I have had a lot of things happen. Um, it has to be God, because after everything that I've experienced, I always went to Him for guidance. I always went to Him for, strength. Never, never, never had the thought of giving up. I don't care what it was. Like, oh, gotta keep going, gotta keep going. Now, when I lost my son, about a year ago. That has been by far the most tragic things I think I have ever experienced in my whole life. And I went to God even more. It pushed me right, I ran to him. So all I can say is by the grace of God that he gave me the strength that I have today to overcome any trial that I have experienced in life. Everything that I've experienced in life, I'm going to say that. God has got me through it. I would recommend, I mean, that is nothing else. I done had times where, man, I'm finna go drink. Guess what? That problem still gonna be there the next day. I'm finna go hang out. Guess what? Problem still gonna be there the next day. Nothing has got me through without God. Nothing. And he has most definitely, the loss of my son has changed me into a totally different person. Through the loss of him, I have more strength today than I ever had in life. And ever God. So that is the advice I would give anybody that is going through anything. You go to him, he going to get you through whatever it is. Whatever it is. Because it always happens for a reason. That's what we have to know. God gives us, he has us, he trials us, he tells us that struggle is ordained for us, and it's up to us how we want to go through them, get through them. And you have to know that his goal at the end of every mountain you climb is something great waiting on you.
Do you want to share what you've been studying recently in case somebody want to learn about it?
I have always known about, the Nation of Islam and, Islam because my Uncle Chad, my Uncle Terry, my mom, they have always studied. Uncle Chad is actually the minister here. So honestly, right before my son, I felt like God was calling me. That'll be a whole nother subject. I can go on about that. I felt started to awaken me in a lot of things. A lot of things I started to, you know, visions or different little things. And honestly, I started to recollect on my whole life. And I think my whole life I've seen things that we don't pay attention to because we're too clouded by other stuff. But started to awaken me. So I started to study more into Islam. And actually, like immediately after I lost my son, I went into like basically 24-hour study Islam. And then I became a registered member of the Nation of Islam. And through the teachings that what Islam provides, the knowledge of self and who we are as people, there's only one road from now. Because once you realize who you are and know you're God too, there's nothing but growth can come from that because nothing is unreachable.
I can see
Nothing
it
is
through you.
unreachable.
I talk with you, and I can see the strength through you. And lastly, do you have anything you want to promote? Any type of herbs that can cure people, or anything that you want to talk about? This is your moment to do so.
Hey, I do have detox drinks that promotes with weight loss, energy, metabolism booster, also sea moss that contains the minerals that we need for our body. I also have an ebook that I put out as well, and I do have a podcast that will be coming shortly, very very soon. That I will be doing with guests, trying to create a community development podcast as well, and also I will be doing a grieving mothers show as well, for people to speak about how have they been dealing with life since they lost their child. I know me personally, I want to build a mental health and drug abuse community development podcast as well to give our information, and anybody want to speak, and how can we help our community with that, because that's something that we ignore a lot, when it comes to the community and our children. So most definitely a lot coming. A lot. More I develop, the more coming.
I believe it. I know it. And you know I'm here.
And guess what? Anybody who we can pull, get what? Everybody. I want everybody to help me. It helps me. I love to speak to people who are anybody that is willing to heal themselves, willing to help. If I can give out any information to help anybody, I want to do so, vice versa. And that's what we're supposed to do. A lot of people that gain knowledge don't realize we don't gain it for ourselves. We gain it for everybody else to help. So we have to be able to come together as unity and be able to lift as many people as we can. And that's what we need to do. Yeah. And I'm here to do that. As long as I can, God's willing, I'll be here.
Yep. And you're a leader, and I'm proud of you, and I love you. You're beautiful. You're still young. So everything you do, man, I'm proud of you. I know you love your children, grandchildren, and in my belief, your son is still here. That's my belief. He's still here. You didn't lose a child. So I love you. Thank you so much for helping me.
Yeah, thank you. Because you gave me encouragement, because I won't get on here and talk. But I comment. And I push, people say stay humble, but I push more courage, because it's a story that needs to come out there from all of us. And the only way they can hear it is if you put it out there. So, I'm overcoming that fear of talking to people. God ready to hear
Right.
me now. Yeah.
Love you,
All right. I
cuz.
love you.
I'm there. All right,
All
cuz.
right.
Thank y'all for watching, man. I gotta go to work. Thank y'all.